And it said I was pregnant.
Wow.
And
It changes colour, doesn't it?
well, it depends.
Or is it a line?
Different ones, yeah. There's lines with crosses, and,
Okay.
and I use the digital ones where it says pregnant or not pregnant. It
Okay.
literally writes it out for you.
Okay.
How they work, right?
Because I like when I think about pregnancy tests, because we all did those tests for COVID.
Yeah.
Think of that the line. Don't you?
Two little lines.
If it's a really heavy line, it's definitely COVID. If it's not, then you have to go and have another test.
Yeah, and it's a bit like that with pregnancy. You know, if you have a very faint line, then because it's all it's doing is testing hormones in your urine. That's all it's doing. And when you're pregnant, you release a certain hormone that it tests, and the stronger that hormone is, the more obvious it is. Whereas I was using one that didn't do that because I didn't want that kind of question mark over it. Is there a faint line? Is there not a faint line? I used the one that literally says pregnant or not pregnant, and it said pregnant, and I was like, oh my god. So I had to keep, because obviously I didn't want Mum to be the first to know when John was in the house. I had to kind of sneak into the office and let them tell John the news while he was at work trying to do video calls and managing that. But
you go into explain. You paint the picture for us. You're sneaking across the landing.
Yes.
Into the room. And what did you do? Was he at his desk?
Yeah, he's at his desk. I just held it up and went. Yeah. And I was kind of gauging if he was on a call or not, and he wasn't. So he pulled his headphones off and just gave me a massive big hug, and we both just started sobbing.
Oh no, that is very, very, very cute. And knowing John, who is basically, forgive me, John, sort of an oversized child, really, like most men, an oversized child. He, exuberant.
Yeah.
And he would have just that's it. And he is an incredible dad too.
Yes.
So it was
very excited.
It was very exciting.
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes, he was very excited, as was I, and so was Mum. And
so Mum was third to know.
So yes, Mum was in the house.
Did you go downstairs to tell her together?
No. I said, you carry on, love, and I don't know what it is about me. I'm just such a practical person. And I just was like, you carry on, love. And and
I'll pop down.
I'll tell
fill her
her
in.
And yeah. So yeah, it was.
How did you tell her?
I did the sort of typical thing that you would do at that point, and I said, I think I'm pregnant, even though I kind of knew that I was. I think I might be. My temperature hasn't gone down, and the test as I am, but I can't really believe that I am. And Mum was just like crying and just like, that's amazing, and
wow,
very excited as well. So yeah, I just remember that New Year's Eve just being such a bizarre evening, because I had to, watch everybody else drinking the champagne for a start, which was bizarre.
Now, knowing Laura, that's probably the most painful part of the whole thing.
Oh, it was.
Because Laura does like the bubbles, and that was it. And that would be it for like 9 months, no fizz.
And I remember my best friend Stacey saying to me a few years before that, when we were talking about, the fact that she'd had her little girl, and I did want to have a child at some point. And she said, I don't know how you'll do it, Laura. I don't know how you'll cope with the early mornings, and I don't know how you'll cope not drinking while you're pregnant. And she was quite right. Both have been very challenging. That 9 months, I tried so many non-alcoholic wines, and they're all pretty much disgusting. I think there was maybe one that was vaguely palatable. Although, to be fair, that's 3 and a bit years ago. I've got friends that are pregnant now where they've got even more choice now. And I've tasted some that are actually quite nice. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're not the same thing.
No.
So I did struggle with that. But, it taught me a lot about what do I drink, when do I drink, why do I drink? And actually, I was on I was already on a bit of a journey with that, but it has helped me kind of, look at that and reduce how much I drink and look at my health and,
Very good. Very good. So there's a process, isn't there, when you get pregnant? Once you're in that wheel, so you will have gone to your GP, who would have carried out a second test, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah.
And confirming that you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And then I believe the next thing that happens is scans.
Well, no, so your GP does the test and confirms, gets you on the folic acid. I was already taking like a pregnancy vitamin, but she was like, no, that's not got enough folic acid in it. Because of your age, get yourself on loads of folic acid.
So we have a thing here where we've established that you're grown up.